New gameplay footage of Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl just dropped recently and the game looks amazing. So let's break down everything we know so far about the game so you can get a head start when you begin your journey into Chernobyl in November 2024. Stalker series is set in an alternative reality where the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear disaster was just the beginning. In this universe, a second explosion in 2006 created the Zone, a highly dangerous and mysterious area surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. But this zone is more than just a radioactive wasteland. It's a place where the laws of physics break down, where anomalies twist the very fabric of reality, and where strange artifacts hold unimaginable power. It's a place teeming with mutants, bandits, and a host of other deadly threats. Any concerns we had about the graphics of this game are no longer an issue because the game looks and sounds amazing, as you can tell by this footage. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic version of the Chernobyl exclusion zone, where players explore a highly radioactive and mutated landscape filled with dangerous anomalies, hostile factions, mysterious artifacts, and all of the good stuff you expect with a post-nuclear title. This isn't some wacky remake of a popular series. These are the same gritty locations, guns and factions that we will remember and recognise from the base game. Now, you don't have to have played the original Stalker games to enjoy this one either, though there is going to be a lot of references to the first games as far as we know, but the story will be its own self-contained adventure. The gameplay is set to be similar to the original Stalker games as well, continuing the series' signature blend of open world exploration, survival horror and RPG elements. Players will navigate a non-linear story with various choices and consequences impacting the game's outcome. The game world is said to be one of the largest in the series, featuring advanced AI systems for both enemies and allies. So the game is set to include factions from the old game as well as new ones, and they will all have backstories, how they got there, and will all offer different paths through the story. In an interview with the devs recently, they said that players would need multiple playthroughs to essentially unlock the game's secrets, so hopefully plenty of hours of content with Stalker 2. Now, as you can see in the video, the gameplay looks pretty good. It's definitely not a Twitch shooter, but hopefully it's not too clunky. You can't really tell from these kind of clips. You kind of need to hear from people who are good at shooters to kind of gauge how the game is going to feel once it's released, so we'll have to wait to find out on that one. Another thing we don't know yet is how the game is going to run on your PC. Stalker 2 uses Unreal Engine 5, but the game has been developed for a long time, and that is usually a bad sign for how optimised a game is. But fingers crossed, we are all hoping that the launch will go well, and with Stalker 2 on the horizon, the legacy of Shadow of Chernobyl looms large. The game will revisit the Zone, but this time the stakes are even higher. The Zone has evolved, becoming more unpredictable and deadly. The locations from the previous game have been altered by time and the zone's ever-changing nature. The factions, artifacts and anomalies you once knew will have grown more complex, more dangerous, and with new mysteries to uncover. It's clear that the story of the Marked One, the Sea Consciousness and the Wish Granter will cast long shadows over the new narrative. Stalker 2 promises to expand on the rich lore established with Shadow of Chernobyl, the original game, but with deeper storytelling, advanced AI and an even more immersive world. So whether you're a returning veteran or a newcomer to the Zone, the events of the first game will resonate throughout your journey in Stalker 2. Now, in an interview with Gamescom recently, GSC commented that the game is going to play pretty similar to the original Stalker, but with more emphasis on the story and on choice. We'll have to see how impactful these choices are going to be. Will it be like Fallout 4's faction system that didn't really offer that much? Or are we looking at something more like Baldur's Gate, where your choices will drastically change the story paths in your playthrough? Only time will tell, and I am personally looking forward to it. I am going to be covering the game when it releases, so hit that subscribe button if you like. But breaking down this footage, we can see that the game is definitely going to have some potential. Kind of looks like Escape from Tarkov visually, which makes sense because it's set in the former USSR, and it also features similar inventory management in the Tetris style, which is very popular with Slavic game studios. I doubt it's going to be as intricate as Tarkov in terms of the inventory management system, probably more in line with the base game, but I would think with more quality of life features added. Stalker is the granddaddy of the first-person survival genre. The original game was well ahead of its time. I remember being in awe when I first picked it up in 2007. Truly a pioneering game in its time. Even the base game now is still loved by many and has tons of mods and quite a healthy player base, so Stalker 2 is bound to have a big following once it releases. The zone awaits once more. It's filled with dangerous mysteries and the echoes of past events. As we prepare to return to this haunting world in Stalker 2, remember the zone doesn't forgive and doesn't forget. So I hope you are ready to face the darkness again. Now the game has faced multiple delays and long development hiatus. It has since undergone significant developmental changes, including interruptions due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, as GSC Game World is a Ukrainian studio. So despite these hurdles, the game is highly anticipated by fans. They have said they are confident the game will release on track for November, with the latest target being December 2024. So the game has a massive following, as I've said, huge player base, massive modding community. They are going to have an absolute field day with this one. Subscribe for more Stalker content when the game comes out, and I will catch you next time.
Тут ти можеш знайти все, Скіф. Друзів, ворогів, гроші, смерть, чудо, навіть самого себе.